Hello, Reed. Welcome to the very first edition of Champion Blue and the Mongoose football analysis. We're all champions in our own way, and we're going to look at some football plays and get better at knowing what the hell is going on the field. So, anyways, how's the trailer park?
It's good. The hobo life is good.
Hobo life is good. Well, we're all stuck here.
Homeless sometimes. I slept out in the middle of the desert last night in a tent surrounded by coyotes because my trailer was in the repair shop.
That sounds amazing, and the story you'll be able to share to your great grandchildren. You know, COVID's been hard on us all, and so we're gonna do what people say not to do, which is start a podcast / YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and look at our first play, which is a bad play for our defense. R being Notre Dame, for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about. Make sure.
Which we can't afford to have this weekend against North Carolina.
Which we cannot afford to have this weekend against North Carolina. So let's go and just watch the play in full speed real quick, and then we'll take a second and break down.
By Blackwell, Jacob Monk, the interior of that line, creating the space. Bryce in a good rhythm, throws in the middle, that's caught. On the run, 25 yards.
So, obviously, that's a nice, standard 4-3 defense that they're able to get behind the linebackers and make a nice game across the middle, which really should not happen in a soft zone like Notre Dame likes to play.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that play?
Well, step one was Duke's execution. I don't know if you noticed their running back.
There, go ahead. Sorry, little technical difficulty there.
Yeah, no, I was just commenting on the fact that their running back bailed him out there by not executing the play action as designed, picking up Owusu on the blitz on the right-hand side of the screen or the upper side of the screen.
So let's take a look at that real quick, and then I'll draw it up on the board there for you. Anyone that's curious. So he's talking about his running back right down here.
Creating the space. Bryce in a good rhythm, throws in the middle, that's caught. On the run, 25 yards on that one for McLeod's shoulder. Interior of that line.
So right here, as he moves out, instead of executing that play action.
Throws in the middle, that's caught.
Right, so taking a look at that. So you can see here, this is sort of what the play's drawn up as, right? They're in sort of a pistol setup, trips to the right, and they're going to run a play action up the middle here, right through here, right? But JOK is coming from the outside here to blitz, and instead of executing this play action up the middle, that running back's just going to come straight out and block, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not seeing your whiteboard.
That's because I didn't click share.
Yeah, but
there you go.
If that back does not jump out there on the outside, we actually have a pretty good play drawn up that we probably would have got pressure on the quarterback, taking away the play action ability. But because he saw that and picked that up, it made it susceptible to, down the field coverage gaps.
Yeah, you can see here, this is generally what the play, can you see it now?
A firm, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, this is generally what the formation looks like. The safeties kind of start in sort of like a split formation, but then, you have that backside or that front side safety sort of creep up towards the line of scrimmage a little bit, right? And that's not Kyle Hamilton, right, over here. Once again, what we're talking about is instead of running that play action up the middle, the running back comes out to block because JOK is coming from the outside right here and coming in, and he would have smoked that quarterback there. Let's take one more quick look at it and see what else we can talk about. I think we need to talk about, I think this is the play where Shaun Crawford gets caught flat-footed there. You see Shaun Crawford comes up, and he gets his, we'll pause it here. He comes up to the line of scrimmage like we talked about. Right here, and you can even see it right here. He's way out of position. He's not really in athletic stance. He is looking to come he is looking to come down the field and attack the run on that play action, gets totally frozen and lets this receiver get behind him. Watch the rest of the play.
Bryce in a good rhythm, throws in the middle, that's caught. On the run,
you know, and then they do a decent job of cleaning it up after.
Bryce on a boot,
but it is what it is. All right, so next play we're going to take a quick look at here is sort of the double end around in the second quarter that led to that first touchdown by Notre Dame. So let's just take a look at it at full speed first.
His helmet off. He's out. Jafar Armstrong in. Fake to him. Setting up the screen to Armstrong. Here goes the senior from Missouri. Ready to run inside the 10. Inside the 5.
So a great looking play, right? Obviously what you've got is you've got the play action up the middle, an end around fake, and then sort of just a pass out to the flat to Jafar Armstrong that the defense bit into hook, line, and sinker, right?
Yeah.
So just to break it down real quick for anyone that needs to see the X's and O's, let me share. So anyone needs to see the X's and O's, kind of the way this play is set down. You can see this now, right?
Yep.
The way that this is broken down, right? You've got 4 down linemen for Duke. They're kind of in a base 4-3, right? Their cornerback is sort of tight because of this sort of tight bunch formation, right? You got 2 tight ends and a big wide receiver out there. And then you got Ben Skoranek outside that pulls that other cornerback, right? But what you're seeing is a base 4-3, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and then a safety and a cornerback that are both very tight to the line.
Good penetration. He only gives helmet off.
You know, let's see if I can get this new share. Right, so you can see how many players there are on the Duke defense right here at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, right? So you'd think that they'd be able to pretty quickly swarm a ball carrier, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the first fake. Right, so fake up the middle, right? That play action up the middle freezes the linebackers in the center, right? Right? Then the second play action, right, to that end around to McKinley, right? Gets the backs coming to the boundary side of the field, right? And then you're going to see Jafar Armstrong kind of squirt out to the field. This is where Ian Book's able to get an easy pass, easy pick and catch, and there's nobody out there to go get him. And he's got one safety to beat for 5 yards. And he's just I don't think he might not have scored on that play. It might have been a
No,
obviously they did not score except for right there.
Yeah, but the beauty of the play is, the double play action basically each has its own purpose. So the first one freezes the linebackers. The second one gets the strong safety to float to the complete wrong side of the field. And then what ends up happening is Jafar Armstrong's completely wide open in the flat. Additionally, what, kind of the grunts of the play here, you got Patterson, the center, getting down the field. So even if the middle linebacker had recognized the screen, he would have had to go through that 300-pound lineman to get to Jafar on the outside, and there's just no way he's going to make that play. So it's by them not blitzing, essentially, it gave us time to set the play up, and there was just no hope for North Carolina on that one, given the time we had to develop it.
Let's take one more quick look at it and see if there's anything else we want to talk about.
Assembled here, and parents as well.
Oh, this is the wrong play. One more play after
Williams
this.
to the right.
Oh.
Good.
Still got the whiteboard up.
Yep.
Penetration. He only gives helmet off. He's out. Jafar Armstrong in. Fake to him.
Yeah, and there's Patterson like we're talking about right in there. Tough to catch on the game film or on the broadcast film.
Yeah.
All right, one more look.
He's out. Jafar Armstrong in. Fake to him. Setting up the screen to
The interesting thing that as we look at this play, you start thinking about the setup plays as well. So given that this was the first game of the year, you probably don't have a lot to go off of. New offensive coordinator. Pretty standard Notre Dame double tight formation, but it's kind of one of those plays that sets yourself up down the line where teams are going to be ready for, the trickery out of that formation. And given how much is going on in that play, it opens the door to catch some teams off guard with some different wrinkles associated with that formation as well.
Yeah. I mean, how many touchdowns did Braden Lindsey score on a play like that last season?
Yep.
I mean, 4 off the top of my head, right? Like it seemed like every game he had one 25 to 40 yard touchdown run on an end around like that. And this time they just kind of went the other way with it. They said, okay, you can take that away if you want. Good luck.
And that's the thing. I mean, it feels like it's a long time coming, but now we have so much talent and depth at our skill positions that it really doesn't matter who's out there. The defenses have to be terrified of our players in the space. It doesn't matter who it is. And it's just, pick your poison.
Absolutely. And I absolutely. And it'll be great to get Braden Lindsey back, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
They said he practiced today, so he should be back.
All right. Okay. Last play I think that we'll take a look at today, and then kind of we'll just move on. So kind of going back to that same formation, that same trips right formation from Duke. This time, much better execution from the Notre Dame defense. So let's take a quick look here. So same look, trips right, sort of a pistol formation, right? Notre Dame's formation is a little different, but still a sort of a base 4-3, base 4-3. A little bit of an over towards that trip side. But let's take a look at the play and see what happens.
Notre Dame showing heat, bringing pressure, 3rd and 8. Bryce gets rid of it. It's complete to Calhoun.
Right. So what happened there, right? So, it's sort of, initially you're like, oh, they should have got him there. And the answer is they probably should have, right? In the sense that Duke probably should have had a decent game there, right? That was the gap in the defense. So look at who gets the ball here.
Now here with the Irish. Notre Dame showing heat, bringing pressure.
Right here, number 5, coming out of the slot, not the tight end spot, but out of that middle slot position, breaking away from one of Notre Dame's linebackers. He beats JOK here. How much room does he have? Right? But JOK is able to string him out enough that it gives the other backs time to get out there and push that guy out of bounds. So, right? So kind of a, it's a 3rd down stop, so it's a big play. But even more than that, I mean, they drew up the perfect play for this defense that we showed, right? So, kind of drawing it up on the whiteboard here. Drawing it up on the whiteboard here, it looks something like this, right? And you have backers and safeties coming from this back side, right? And JOK, this is, he's showing blitz the whole time here. Like you said last time, you should know if you're a quarterback that he's not going to blitz, right? But he bails out into that flat, but he is so far behind because he's got to kind of sell that blitz in order to free up this backside for the actual blitzers, right? So he sells that blitz, and then he's got to beat feet all the way to the flats, really, right? And he does a fantastic job, and he shows why he's one of the best linebackers in the country right now. We'll watch it one more time just to sort of appreciate it, right? So here he is. He's selling that blitz from that strong side position and has to bail out all the way. That's 15 yards that he's got to make up on a receiver that's already out here.
His degree, grad transfer, now here with the Irish. Notre Dame showing heat, bringing pressure, 3rd and 8. Bryce.
And he gets picked a little bit.
It's complete to Calhoun.
Well, right, and we talk about, we cliche football is a game of inches, but Duke's execution was, about a step or two just off, right? That, while it wasn't necessarily a pick play, called a rub play, that receiver was a little bit early, so Usu was he was able to recover just on pure athleticism to get out to that guy. But had that rub been half a second later, I don't think that he recovers from that. So that, on the other hand, counter to that first play was just a little bit of a lack of execution on Duke's part in terms of timing that ended up helping us out there a little bit.
All right. Anything to add on the Duke game besides, hey, sometimes you got to bust some rust after a COVID offseason?
Establish the run.
Establish
The
the
Duke
run.
formula. The Duke formula works for North Carolina as well. This coming week, get out there, establish the run. You got a couple trick plays in your bag, but you're not going to need much. At the end of the day, you have to go out there and execute. So it'll be nice having Lindsey back. I am curious to see how our offensive line recovers. You know, it's a classic next man up, and I'm not at all worried that we don't have all Americans in the wings, because we seem to always have that. But we are going into North Carolina with, you know, especially the center. It's tough to replace that many starts at that key position. Guard will be easy. I'm not worried about that. We'll still manhandle from the guard position, but they got a powerful offense that we're gonna have to keep up with. So we're gonna have to go out there and execute.
All right. I think that is it for the football show today. See you later.